Welcome to the HAP HMO Goal 2000 Benefits Review. This plan from HAP is an HMO, which means you're required to have a primary care physician. And it has a $2,000 deductible for an individual, $4,000 for a family, 20% coinsurance after that for an additional $3,500, and $7,000 for a family. Let's set that deductible and coinsurance aside. Let's go down to office visit. If you go to the doctor and you're sick, you're going to pay $30 for that office visit. If you have to see a specialist, it's going to cost you $60. But the nice thing about HAP's HMO plan is that it does not require a referral. If you see a doctor, want to see a specialist, and they're in network, you just make the appointment. You don't need a referral, which is a great deal. If you use their telehealth service, there's a telehealth service that you can get through HAP. It's through a company called Amwell, and you can have an online televisit for free. I highly recommend this instead of going to an after-hours clinic, because as we go down here, you'll see that an urgent care will cost you $65, whereas the telehealth visit is free and you don't have to wait in a room in the evening with a bunch of people for hours. It's just a much more convenient way to do it, so I highly recommend it. Let's go down to the prescription drugs. Preferred generics are going to cost you $5 or less. If you get a 90-day supply, it's $10 or less. So they give you 3 months supply for 2 copays. Non-preferred generics, $15 or less, $30 for the 90-day supply. 98% of the drugs out there have a generic equivalent, so the majority of the time you're going to be paying $15 or less or $5 or less for your prescriptions. If you need a preferred brand name, if for some reason the doctor says, no, this is the drug I want you on, it's going to cost you $40. If you have a non-preferred brand name, it's going to cost $80. Preferred specialty drugs. So preferred specialty drugs and non-preferred specialty drugs are very rare. The odds on you coming across to one of these plans is one of these drugs is very rare. These would be like experimental cancer drugs, new drugs on the market for, that are for, very rarely used. And some of these drugs can cost upwards of $50,000 a dose. So here, what they're going to do is they're going to charge you 20% up to a maximum of $200, and non-preferred 50% up to a maximum of $500. Let's go back up to deductible and coinsurance. So the question always comes, when does deductible come into play? If you need something outside of a normal office visit, if you go to the doctor and he says, I'd like to get an x-ray, make sure you don't have bronchitis, you're going to be paying for that x-ray. You're going to pay for things like x-rays, MRIs, surgeries, stitches, broken bones. You're going to pay for those up to the first $2,000. Now, this is an annual number, so every time you go do something, they add up, and once you reach $2,000, you're done. It says $4,000 for a family, but if one family member reaches that $2,000 on their own, that family member's done. If any combination of family members reach $4,000, the whole family is done. After that, we have the 20% coinsurance. I like to call this cost sharing. It's where the insurance company pays a portion and you pay a portion. You're going to be paying 20% after the $2,000. So you paid your whole $2,000, you have to go get an x-ray. You're going to pay 20%. So if the x-ray is $200, you pay $40. And they're going to keep track of all that so that at any point, once you've spent $3,500 in coinsurance, then everything's done. And if you had to have a surgery, an MRI, or whatever, it would be free. So the way to wrap this up in a small ball is if you had a $2 million surgery, the most it would cost you on this plan is $5,500. Now, people get confused when they come down here to out-of-pocket max because it says $7,300. So they think, well, if I have a major surgery, do I have to pay $7,300? No. Surgeries fall under deductible and coinsurance. The annual out-of-pocket max includes every dollar you spend. Deductible, coinsurance, office visit copays, prescription drug copays, and they're going to add up all of that. And if at any point in the year you've reached $7,350, everything's free for the rest of the year. You don't pay a dime more. So that's pretty much a basic overview of this. If you want, you can reach out to us 24/7 for service. You can reach me at the number that's listed at the top of the page where you're picking your plans, which is 810-584-7458, and my extension is extension 1. So if you just call and push extension 1 24/7, we're here to help you. Thanks so much.